Om. Namaste. Welcome everyone to Satsang today. Very good, very good, very good. Please come. I thought this is a happy place, no? Wouldn't you say that? Must be the happiest place. No? If you discovered what I'm pointing, it must be the happiest place, the happiest person in the world. And some tears can be happy tears, we know that. Just like some laughter can be full of sadness. These tears are what type of tears? Say something. What happened? We don't know. That also is not a bad state, I don't know. Doesn't usually produce some crying and laughing. And how we can trust you now. Yeah. Say something, come.
There is something that's I cannot get rid of something.
You feel that there's something you cannot get rid of.
Or I don't know, there's also doubt and fear and
About what? If you have doubt, it must be about something. Fear must be of something or about something. What is it?
it's
You cannot just give your attention to things because some flavor, some emotion come, but they're coming and going. They're like waves on the surface of the sea, the ocean. They come and go. I'll be telling the story of waves. They come and go. You should know by now because we are never talking about these things deeply. And how many times people come and they start like that. Something, oh, I'm so troubled and this and so on, and oh, I don't know what's going to happen. And then a few minutes they are laughing and it's all gone and so on. What a waste of energy to even give focus or attention to these things. It's not really anything. Sometimes there is something that seems more persistent, something more deep. So after 1 day it's still there, 2 days it's still there, 3 days it's still there. They say, okay, tell me what it is now. It must be a mega feeling is there, some thought. So what is your mega feeling?
Just doubt, only doubt.
About what?
I don't know, I feel I've been going between belief and doubt, and I just want to go beyond.
There's something which is neither doubt nor belief. Something here that is not affected either by doubt or belief. It is completely untouched. And you've heard me speak of that, point to that so often. It's the only thing I am really sharing. When you get it, I'll stop speaking about it. If you don't get it, then you go down to the place where there's doubts. I'm going to talk about doubts, and you want to tell the stories about what has happened, and then we are back again into the forest. And it's time to come out of the forest. It's time to come out of the forest, because you say you wish to be free. You want to be happy and to be again in your own natural state. They say, come out of this forest of identity and projections. And the advice is simple enough. There are many people in this world, they have a lot of very complex advice. I am not offering you complex advice. Very simple. You're standing under the bush, you say, oh, I can't see the light. I say, come here, come here. And you come here and say, yeah, but there's still doubt. But you're standing in the light, what you want? So how I can take you seriously, you see? And jokingly, I can't take you because I don't even find it funny. I can't cry with you, can't laugh with you, I don't know. And I know also it is nothing, because you know you're sitting here, you're speaking, there's no power.
I know, I don't believe myself either. But something is keep here like...
Show it to me. You're its number one fan, so you introduce me. Show me this thing. And I'll get rid of it for you. Show me. Don't show me imagination. Imagination is not anything. You just waste your time imagining things. At least if you're going to imagine things, be happy about it. So let's not give any more time to that. When you have something that you can catch hold of, you say, okay, right now I've got something to bring up to you. Then you can come and sit again.
No.
But it's not incredible, you know. What we can do, you might as well sit there or here, anywhere, with this type of thing you're talking.
I don't know how to say it, but it is something.
It is your projection.
So how to go over
Stop projecting. It is your projecting. You're projecting something, or there's something. Because I have said enough times that, you know, in this type of seeking, there is a force, it seems, internally, that will never totally comply, won't support your drive for freedom completely. Always trying to bring you back to something that's important in your bodily experience, something that is still to be done, something, you see, and you have to be aware of this. And in most cases, you know, when I ask people, okay, if you're troubled by it, show it to me. They can't. They say, I don't know what it is. And if you don't know what it is, why to bother with it? You know, at least they say, okay, I can see it here, it's standing here, it's got two big red eyes, or something like that. But you can't say anything. So it's just a feeling. You're believing too much in a feeling. So I feel really tight, Mooji, I feel really tight. So what? What does it mean? You're feeling really tight? I'll tell you what it means. It means you're feeling really tight for the moment. What should we do about it? Well, nothing. What to do about it? It goes by itself, all these things. If you give your attention to these things too much, then what do you have to say to anybody? You just end up complaining, grumbling about things that no one can fix. There's nothing at all. You have to ignore so many things. The secret of the great masters is that they ignore everything, all these things. They already seen through it that it has no vitality really, no power. It can only have the power that you give to it in terms of belief. Otherwise, nothing really has credible, autonomous power. Nothing in itself has power in itself like that over your mind. It can only have the power that you give to it. Easy. So this you have to shake it off. It's not good enough to bring. It's like it's Christmas and you come and you give me a packet, but it's only a packet, it's got nothing in it. Merry Christmas, Mooji. Yeah. I say, okay, I'm hoping I can't find anything in it. You see, I spent a long time looking for it. Then if you say, oh, but it's emptiness, you mean you're giving me emptiness? Oh, this is a very good gift. But you don't seem to be giving emptiness. Okay. You have to come with something more artillery than that. Okay, you wait there for a minute. So, what is happening?
But it's somehow...
It's happening more and more like that?
And I'm not... somehow it feels...
Fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe just... If you tell me it's fine also...
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. It's fine. But I just want to check in because I know that internally sometimes things can happen on the surface and people think, what's happening? But I know inside you're still. And sometimes there is this kind of energetic things. We talked about it before. And sometimes when we're looking a bit deeply into some tendencies or something like that, or unraveling what has been so far mystery, or you're experiencing some insight, sometimes you get this feeling too. It's like it's an involuntary psychic shaking something off. But then sometimes it can happen like this. And, not so common, but it happens in this type of environment sometimes. You see. Okay, you come.
Since Zima retreat in September, I had this feeling I just want to be here and experience this. It's life around you. And I did everything was needed to be done, but I was checking my email just every second day to see if I have an invitation.
Yeah.
And last week I got the invitation and I came. The first feeling it was, wow, finally I can relax. There's nowhere else I want to be. I just want to check with you if it's okay. What is happening now?
What is happening now?
Right now, just heartbeat is very strong. I feel very hot. The feeling of gratefulness inside.
Yes. What has to be taking place for everybody when you've been in this type of environment where nothing other than what is true is being shared, not just spoken, But it is the climate here is only about and pointing to what is real, what is true. You see? Of course, our behavior, our bodily life has its own thing. We have to do things, we are making things. But that is not excluded from this inner life. It's the outer expression of some inner thing. But clearly, the attention has been pointed to that here. Yesterday we spoke about it because we watched a film last night, no? And it was a kind of, was it action movie? Do we call it action movie? What action movie yesterday? And at the end of it we spoke, no? A little bit about that. Can you watch these things and still be really remain in total serenity and peace internally? Because my impression was that for some people, they were caught in the kind of flavor of the film, and I said, but it does not add anything at all to go upstairs, to go up into your head. You can watch right there in your stillness and catch the full. In fact, you see the film more clearly than when you get excited and you start to, you join in the film in this kind of, with this sort of emotional investment or involvement. In your own neutrality, you can see things, and there's a joy, a quiet joy in everything, but you appreciate, and also your attention, your mind is working in a much broader way. You're not just seeing the images on the screen, but you have ways of looking, and it's a much fuller experience in some way. And I wanted to talk a bit about that, because my feeling is by now we can do anything. You know, here we have not really, you know, asked anybody. We're wearing some Mooji Sangha uniform, okay, or you know, so and so and so. It's not strict in these type of ways, but inwardly there's a kind of strictness that you can apply a little to keep looking and seeing, feeling the pull towards certain activities. The mind seems to call your attention to something, and you're aware of that, and your real choice is whether you go with that in that direction, or you stay back only as the kind of neutral witness of it, and immediately feel the difference. This kind of watchfulness, it has been encouraged in everybody to be always steadfast in this kind of watchfulness until it gradually becomes completely natural for you. You don't even feel like you're making any sort of practice at all, you see. And also to stay in the bigger perceiving, in the bigger listening. So don't just go down into the person all the time. Very often our life is lived too much in a personal mode. You're such a person. And I said yesterday, forget, throw off all these labels, even for a short time, at least just to see what is there when you are labelless. Shake off all the labels, even a strong label that you're a woman, or you're a man, or that you are English or something, or whatever religion. Leave all the labels out for a moment, because the experiencing continue somehow, but it becomes very pure. You're moving out of the kind of tribal mind, what I call the tribal mind, meaning that you always refer to yourself in some context. You know, you respond to life like, you know, you're a male consciousness. I am mother consciousness. You know, I am doctor consciousness. You see? And these labels, they are preparing your next birth for you. The more we are somehow indulging these identities, they are already preparing also another belly for you. I'm not joking about it. You see? Also, my master would sometimes speak about his different births that he has had, different lives he had, and how he remembers some of them very, very clearly. You see? And he told one story. I remember that one time he had to stop in one place, taking rest between journeys. He stopped at one of his devotees' home to take a a break to eat there, but he had a nap. And when he was asleep, he had a very powerful dream. And in his dream, he saw that he was here before, living in this region, and that he himself was a Swami in those days. And he was a Brahmin. And he had built an ashram. He was a yogi, quite famous one for the area. And he built this ashram and everything, and installed also one Krishna statue there. And this is particular because the area was in South India and it's more of a Shivite area. But here was an unusual Krishna temple he made there. And then what happened is that he fell in love with one girl. Because the people asked him, why did you come back if you were such a yogi in all those days? What brought you back here? You see? And he was saying that my desire for this woman brought me here. There was something unfulfilled, strong, unfulfilled desire. Now, we should not be afraid for the natural forces that move in our heart. Don't be afraid of them. But we must discern between a desire, a passion, to want to have something so bad as though it is going to make you into some better state or something like that. To be so attached so that you feel that your being is deficient, is lacking something. And yet you can enjoy. I don't know why I'm saying this particularly. But that you can look upon all things, enjoy every flavor. We have not spoken here 10 commandments, Satsang, or do's and don'ts. Of course, there are some things, in some cases I might say, it's better you avoid this thing. But we are jumping across many things because the 10 commandments or any other commandment was not made for pure consciousness. All these different disciplines, formalities, practices, they are not for the pure awareness. Now the thing is, can we get to that pure awareness itself and avoid the disciplines? I felt it was a risk, a little bit. And yet, I trust totally that there must be some compatibility, there must be some resonance, some synchronicity energetically between us while we are sitting together, and somehow out of our contact this beautiful love is flowering. Because something, we are destined to be sharing this somehow together. It appears to me that this is the most simple thing, the pointing. If I am going to have to relate to you on the basis of a sadhaka, or on the basis of, say, someone who is definitely a spiritual-minded person, then our relationship is going to be a very, very long one, many hardships, a lot of resistance, a lot of failures, a lot of successes, lots of struggle. You see, because as I said earlier, the truth is simple, but the seeker of truth is complex. Can't get out of the way. And the trick, again, is that cannot see that its own self, the one who is seeking the truth, is the one that's blocking the truth at some stage. In the early stage, it's important because it is the bait of consciousness. The bait of consciousness is the urge for freedom. You see, it is always free. Beyond even the concept of freedom, it is there. But in the game of duality, when consciousness paints a portrait of itself as a person, it is not a complete state. And some impulse is inside the clock of consciousness. to come again to completion. That is the true yoga. To rediscover your original being. You see? And in some it's more awakened, more alive, this urge, than others. Because even on the same tree, not all the fruits come to ripe at the same time. So something must be in a stage of ripening to come to a sort of satsangs like this. Yes.
I lived in many different community, and always I was thinking, yeah, that's the place I want to be. And this time, I know I would love to be here. I have no desire nowhere else to go. But there is a voice also telling me, I want just make you bring it inside of me. I don't want to depending. And last night I was observing everything I wanted in my life is just come to me. I don't need to do much. And then I was thinking, why not making this desire happening?
There is an adventure in self-discovery that I would not want to take away from you. Of course, at some point, when you begin to feel the strain, the pain of the egoic identity, then you want the quick fix. You want the pill. You want the awakening pill. Please take it now. No. Just I want to avoid this. But this is the most important part, actually. There's a part where you come again into the recognition of your own innate power. You see, we have experienced enough of suffering and strain. Now you must experience your transcending of things also. To apply the wisdom that is flowering in you to your life, to apply, to see. Now you've gotten the most simple and clear instructions, no? Clear guiding, pointing, no? And such is the pointing that immediately, if you follow, you can see the fruit of that pointing. I said also before, no? We say Merry Christmas. I give you, just like you say a Merry Christmas, I give you a present. And the present I give you is to be opened today. Also, this pointing is to be enjoyed today.
I enjoy very much. If it's okay, I don't know. I enjoy so much to be here. But I don't know, is that?
What you mean by, it depends on what you mean by to be here. If to be here is just to be in this physical place, then it's not yet enough. To be here is not a community, unless it's the community of being. If by being here, it is not just a community and another community. No, it's not just another community. There must be something informing you from within your own self that does not take conviction, not somebody else convincing you. I'm not here to convince you. You must be convinced by the light of your own seeing. I show you only so far. Put a mirror in front of you. Tell me what you see. Then you must not ask me, well, as I said before, I put a mirror in front of you and you're asking me how it works. How does it work? The mirror doesn't work. You must begin to see, but wait a minute, wow. So much of my own delusions seem to be falling. Before, I used to feel that I believe, I think, I agree, but now this is beyond agreeing. It's beyond just merely hoping for something. It is actually seeing. It's a clarity enough there. Nobody is going to answer for you on this account. If you're in love, does somebody else have to convince you you're in love? Aren't you the one who has the most powerful conviction? So this self-seeing is a form of falling in love. It has a great power like that. Falling in love is a doubtless experience. It's not a religion, it's not a belief. And perhaps what happens is that you don't allow yourself to fall in love with the self, you can say like that. This is why the doubts keep coming back, because something is still entertaining them. Why should there be doubt? If you ask, can I have an orange? And I said, yes, you go in this room next door, you look on that shelf, second shelf there, on this, you find them there. Why would you say, well, I don't know if I really can trust that? Or, I really want to believe you, but I have doubt. I said, why? It's just there, go and see. It won't take you 5 seconds to go to remove your doubt. What reason is there for you to have doubt?
Because I may want to use my senses.
So do I. You think to be free, to be aware of yourself is to be senseless? Or to be just some kind of vegetable or something? Of course your senses are going to be here. Also your mind is going to be here, your practical mind. But you don't need the psychological mind or the psychological identity. But you must be clear about that. If you feel like I still want to be this type of person in the world, I would still like to be this kind of person for someone in the world, then you are going to perpetuate your identity on a personal level. This is something else. But if you begin to feel the power of the presence and the presence of the power also, then there's sufficient conviction in you to say, I don't know what the future could give me more than this, but this is plenty good.
I have a glimpse of that situation.
Yes. But you know something? I am not even excited to hear people speak of glimpse anymore. Glimpse is cling. That's a glimpse. But awareness cannot be a glimpse. The glimpse is perceived in awareness. How can awareness be a glimpse? You can only have a glimpse of something that maybe your mind has created a sort of feeling about it, and then for a moment it seems like there's a coincidence with that thought, and you feel, okay, wow. For a moment I just had, my projections was very clear or something. But it cannot be you have a glimpse of awareness. Unless it means for one moment you were not there. Your usual person idea was not there. And in the absence of you, there's something delightfully beautiful. In the absence of the usual you, there's something here that is delightfully, profoundly beautiful. And you will not be satisfied with a glimpse. Maybe God might tease you with a glimpse. You see? And that glimpse is going to burn so deeply inside you, you want nothing else. That's okay for now. You have to be strong. In the beginning, like any tree growing up, if you have a tree growing on your farm and surrounded by animals, then you have to put some stakes around the tree to make sure that they don't eat it when it's young. But as the tree grows and becomes more strong, and it can stay by itself, It does not need to be fenced around. Now its leaves and its branches are out of the range of the animals. Then the trunk, the body of the tree is too strong for them to do it, to hurt it. Then you can remove all the protection. And then this tree becomes a great shade for them. And it even produces fruit and flower for them. Then they can take shelter there. You must be this tree, this oak. You see. You cannot always need something fencing you around to protect you. Some string tying you to some stick. And this tree, of Satsang tree, grows very fast. It grows very fast. Overnight already, it can mature. You see. But if you try to protect yourself too much, and I'm trying to put you in a mincing machine, I have to put you in a mincer and mince you. Pulp you and make a nice sausage. Fry him. If you want to too much protect, because protect is a very weak thing, because you're protecting the wrong thing. You only protect something that you are vulnerable about, and you should not be vulnerable. When you're discovering the true, you're not vulnerable. It's only the lie feels vulnerable, not the true. And in the satsang, you are brought to the very edge of your own being. Something push you in. It appears like that. You have to be really there, and you see. How much time you need for that? To be honest, I feel most of us are living a very cowardly life. Our attention is focused on the things of this world which are just really impermanent. They are finding themselves. They are meant to be impermanent. All that you can see and perceive, their physicality, their materiality, is a sign of their time-boundness. They're all time-bound. Can you imagine if all your energy is in service to what is bound by time? And yet you're trying to discover the timeless. Of course it doesn't feel like that, because we have been cultured in the kind of human consciousness. And so we have the power to imbue a kind of a reality and longevity to things which are actually fundamentally impermanent. But they can feel, we can wish, and we can believe, and we can imagine, project, and dream sufficiently to stay deeply involved with that. But is it truth? Is it true? Anyway, I don't want to talk like that. This is small talk. Small talk. Hmm? A few days ago, no? Many of you, most of you here, experienced it. One woman came from Finland. Finland. We've never met before. She only saw on YouTube. She came to Satsang. She sat right there in front of me. What did she say? I heard you. You told me. Wherever you are, whatever situation, whatever circumstances you find yourself in, right there is the door to your inmost being. And I found it. I said, I have not heard anything like this before. She didn't say, I think I find something. She says, I found it. I was so pleased. The next day I called her. I was so pleased. And I said, she only came for one day from Finland here. For one day she came. She said, I only wanted to see you. I said, I hope you come again. She said, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. Because wherever I am, you're there. Wherever I am, I'm here. I have not heard anything like that. And I said, I'm very happy to meet someone who could express something like that, so that we could check ourselves and say, well, wait a minute, then what's taken me 5 years? What's taken me 5 months, 2 years? What is actually taking it? Is it true that it is required this time? Or is there something that is really not being recognized here? She's rare. Because I have the feeling that once you've been touched so much in your heart, you've never been touched like that. Not by another human being, not by some experience, nothing. It is a different touch altogether. And it's like one touch, and it's spread all over your body, all over your being, is completely caught in the miracle of that touch. And all you want is to surrender fully to that, to be totally one with that. Is it too hot in here? I think we can open something that is very, I need to breathe something. That's good. Come out of this slumber. You know what slumber is? Like a kind of sleeping our life. Being somehow entertained only with dreams. To be aware. To be aware. Not to beware, but to be aware. Not aware of. To be awareness itself. Like that. Then the things of the mind and the life is not troubling you. You look through all of them, you see, none of them amount to what I am. You will see this. Of course, there are things you have to do, places you have to be, things to address and so on. And they will come, they will do their own way. For instance, at the moment now, it's been coming in, as an example, people are asking more and more, what about India? You're going to India? When are you going to India? I mean, meeting, we go out in the Algarve just a couple of days ago. I bumped into 2 people. My friend has gone to India to see you. I said, really? I didn't make any appointment with them that I'm going to be there like that. I don't know myself if I'm going to be there. But how don't you know? I said, well, because I don't make it up, in this thing, something has to suggest inwardly. That's what has been happening now, the last few years. It must somehow, something signals it's right, and then somehow it happens. Another part might feel, wow, I got all these people there waiting to buy tickets. It's not fair. There's some of them have to plan ahead, and so I said, I can't take that on. I'm sorry. Sometimes we intimidate ourselves and thinking, oh, we have to do all these things because everybody's this and there's less time, and I'm getting letters also. We have friends coming, close friends also from Moscow coming. They want to know they can come this time in January, but then if you're going to India, you're going to go in February. How are you going to be? At this point, I don't know. Still don't know. I don't know. And I'm not keeping anybody waiting. I just don't know. And it's not common sense. It's not, oh, but there's so many people. There's one chance people have. I heard all of these things already. But whether it will happen or not, something will just come to the surface. And I cannot say that I'm actually waiting. Because waiting, there's something anxious about waiting. You see, as an example. Very often we are acting in life prematurely because something don't allow itself to slow down enough to meet the cosmic mind. The psychological mind tells you, look, you're going to crash. Act now, so quickly before your feet touch the floor, you're up and off again, off. So this is why we don't have any faith. This is why we don't know the miracle of the existence. Because everything is premature. Acting in hurry, look. The bank is coming, they're sending somebody around tomorrow to take my furnitures. I have to do something today. What can you do today? I don't know. I have to do something. But somebody who knows in the heart and said, but I've tried what I can. And now I would only embarrass myself now to go and do things which is not belonging to me to do. Keep quiet and trust. Then we will see if life provides or not. The whole world is built upon this premature activity. Okay, thank you.
I just feel very happy.
You feel very happy?
Yes. I don't want to come when I feel, but it's actually becomes rare that I feel really that I have some problem. Because every problem is seen. I don't have this even name for it as a problem.
Yeah.
Never had, but some tightness or some uncomfortableness with others or something. It's all is seen, and even there is some joy when it's coming. For example, like yesterday we were singing and I was worrying, I don't know what, some anxiety in the body and to sing before people like sitting like this. But something was so detached from this, and it was such a joy to be even anxious. And it's it's so much space.
Yes.
And everything can come. But I know that I'm beyond this event, and sometimes the seeing is very clear, but also there is a joy in discovering the space. And this both, I don't know. I know that it's still a separation a little bit in the explanation, and finally it will not be there. But I feel that sometimes it's okay to be in the not so detached, completely detached. But to be in that's why maybe I'm here, to be with people and to feel that I'm also comfortable with people. Not only sitting at home alone,
Yes.
I feel as I'm doing now.
Detachment is not something that you do. You see, if you are doing detachment, then very often you're going to get it wrong. You're forcing something, you're trying to stay away from people, and many people are doing that. You know, I'm going into retreat, I don't want to speak to anybody for about 6 weeks or 6 months, sometimes people say. I'm just going to go to the forest and, okay, ciao, see you later. Thank you. And they may do it. They may go and spend 6 months, don't speak to anybody, but doesn't necessarily do them any good. Doesn't necessarily do you any good. If it is coming out of an intention, I just, I need to be more detached and so on. I say, don't even worry about these things. Just recognize your position as the awareness itself and be one with that. Then the life is being guided, it's being steered, is unfolding by some power is doing it. It's not a decision made. You simply find that your beingness functions like that. You can still correspond with other beings. You don't choose which one either. You don't say, oh, these ones look wise, I'll talk to them. This one is foolish, just avoid them. No, you go wherever the wind blows you. You're like a dried leaf, but a very happy dried leaf. Something just kind of goes, and it's like you're not the one turning the wheel of life. Something is there. Then you see that these things in themselves are never really the problem. It was only the way in which they are being perceived internally. What kind of beliefs you're following and what kind of intentions you are holding on to. But a true one is really empty. If you have an opinion, it's more superficial and it's light, You don't have a memory that is grasping and holding on to things. You're not determined, no, I'm not going to give in, no. Something is not like that. You're much lighter than this. Much, much lighter than that. Nothing like that. Lighter than a feather. So, of course you're happy. Of course you're happy. Of course you are in such a natural happiness. And for the first time, for many people, they're happy without not happy about. Not happy about something. They don't have a subject for their happiness. They're just happy because that's the state of their being. Happiness.
Because I begin to understand more and more that my happiness doesn't depend on anything. I can't get happiness from anything. What brings happiness is only being myself without any aspirations for the future.
Yeah.
And life also, I'm very grateful because life, it's not me it's not what I do, it's not my practice, but life somehow brings these situations that show me more and more that I can't find this happiness outside.
Yet you can have a happy life. In everything you do, that joy is there.
But joy is it automatically becomes in every action. Is this joy?
Yes.
Of course, there are some limitations, there are some problems, of course. But like you say, they are lighter, and it's not that like they overwhelm you and you are full in this. They are passing. Yeah. And only even I'm more grateful that when some seemingly big problem comes, because after I can see, because my life was always very comfortable, I think, and when some big feeling and big crash comes, I feel so much lighter because of contrast, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Eye drops, thank you. Eye drops, anybody got eye drops? As we say, when the eye drops. That's good. Eye drops. Eye drop. Okay, please come. Yeah. Very good.
just more and more I'm hearing you say that, we all need to take full advantage of our time while we're here. And while there's a sense and a feeling here that happens, there must be some blind spots, I'm thinking. And I guess the question is how to know, how to really be taking advantage.
Only by being the awareness itself. Simple answer for me. Only by being awareness. If you are going to go in search of any little gremlins, hidden ones, they are shapeshifters. You think you're onto something and boom, it's gone and it's sitting on your shoulder laughing. We cannot do it. You cannot clean. You cannot remove all the dust from the earth. We cannot do it. Only by staying as the awareness. This is why I use the expression, you must be the cow that jumped over the moon. You see? And what I mean by this is that don't stay in the field, in the cow field of the human consciousness, which means that you do only what humans do or are conditioned to do. We are reared to be a certain way, to have a certain kind of outlook, and not more than that. You see? So we are a human being, but also your own divinity you have not discovered. You see? And that's not something that's made belief. It's not something that you're going to create with imagination, you see. You can only discover and come to that place where whatever you see or learn or think or imagine or experience, you see it to be time-bound, you see it to be some phenomenon. It is a movement that cannot exist independent of your perceiving of it. And at some point you become absolutely clear that it's just so, it's not a belief. You see that even your own idea of who you are is itself something made up. It has no substance in it, really. It only carries the intensity of your belief. Once you are coming to see this, you are now in the godly region. And all your journeys are within. All true journeys are inside. Outside journeys, they will not amount so much. Even your outer journeys must have a withinness about them. Otherwise, there's nothing about them. This journey should be within. For a start, mostly human beings are living only on the outer regions of our fullness. We are predominantly believing that we are our bodies and the conditioning in them. And there's 7.5 billion beings living roughly in this type of, psychological climate of the person. I'm a man, I'm a woman, I'm this. You can put your statistics down, your education, and all of it amounts to only a dream. When someone begins to discover the position of the weakness, the sense of presence, then a change has taken place, a movement from personhood to presence. And that's different. In a different region altogether. More light. Less personal, less clutter. Because the person is a very cluttered state. It has so many things to handle and to mishandle. It's just full of noise. You see? But because it is also consciousness, it has a rightness about it also. Wherever consciousness is, it has a light there, it has a fruit there. So even the person itself also has a life, it has a richness, it has texture, it has contrast, and we have a life, we have ambition, we have beautiful memories, we have projections, all of these things. And that somehow entices the consciousness and keeps it in the position really of developing within that paradigm of I am this body, I am this person, and this is my conditioning, you see. When you move to the place of the what I would call presence, whereby you are aware of the sense I am, but that the I am is not a person, it's not a male or female, then you are moving into the godly state. You can experience, the senses are still functioning, you see. The senses, they're not good or bad. They bring the flavor of life, and to the consciousness is enjoying. It enjoys in the mode of a person, and it also enjoys in the mode of presence. So it enjoys through the same Consciousness is enjoying through even the bodily senses. It understands, it feels and enjoys them. But it doesn't get uptight and trapped into identity with them. You see? And it's already a much higher state, purer state, not conflict. When other beings are speaking, you really would find yourself in conflict with them, because your consciousness is flexible enough to enter from their perspective and to understand from within themselves what they are perceiving, and to guide them also to more purer state of consciousness. You are able to do this. That's not that the person cannot do that. The person has a standpoint and they're defending this. The presence doesn't. The presence can perceive in a much more lighter way. You see, it's not trying to create conflict, but more to promote harmony. And then there's a step beyond even presence itself. Rare. See? But that stage, that step is within you also. The highest is inside here, in this body. The highest also potential is here. Why stop? When you're in the position to recognize even the presence of presence, then you are in the unspeakable, the nameless, the unborn. We don't need imagination, you see. Even now as I'm speaking, in some of you, you'll be able to grasp. You grasp what cannot be grasped. You see? And somehow all of that, you're out of the region of hells. The mind doesn't have to go down into so many cul-de-sacs and so many, it's not cooking in so many pots, in so many kitchens anymore. It's a much different state, a much purer state. There is a saying, I am not perceiving the world as it is. I am perceiving the world as I am. Whatever posture, position the I am takes, from that position it will see the world. When the I am is a person, it will see a very personal world, a world of conflict, of hardship, of struggle. You see? When it is in the mode of presence, it will see a world in a much kinder way. There's more joy. And not only does it perceive joy, it emits joy, it radiates and inspires joy and wisdom. And when it is in the state of the unborn, well, yeah. See, if we stay in the place of identity, a lot of work to do. 5 steps forward, 3 back. And it is a path of consciousness, but it is slow. Why? Because it requires the ego to be making the journey. And wherever the ego is there, a struggle is there. When you're in a state of presence, the ego is not an egoic realm at all. The realm of consciousness. All this is here. The heavenly realms, they are here actually. You see, because we are thinking we are our body, we are thinking also that the heavens must be something beyond our galaxy. Where? You see? That it must be also, because we are physical, we think heaven is sort of physical in that way. But they're here. It's not, they're distanceless. It's not a question of physical distance, but of subtlety. Subtlety of understanding. Subtlety of mind. And this is why so much can be done here. Some practices you have to leave where you are to go and do them. But truth, you don't have to leave where you are to find it. This is what I'm speaking. Some practices you're going to have to go somewhere else. Some practices you can only do on a beach. Or you can have to do in water, or sitting in a tree, or in a cave. But for truth, you don't have to go anywhere, right here. Why? Because it's no distance from you. So you choose. That is making the best use of one's time. Use time to discover the timeless. While this body is warm, find the undying. And it is here. I want answers today, actually. I said, why not today? What's better about tomorrow? Why not here? If it's not today, you can only have a diluted version of the truth. No, 100% is here. We are 100% true. That's very good. Very good. What we have here now? Anything? Hello, dear Mooji. I love to watch your satsangs. Such a sweet melting. I feel that even if you sat in your chair and all you said was boga boga boga, those words would be infused with the energy of truth and source. Love you, Candace, Toronto in Canada. Boga boga boga. We will say booga, booga booga booga. Even we say that those words would be infused with energy of truth and source. Actually, you can only say this because your own consciousness is subtle enough, you see. Sometimes we say the consciousness is so subtle, it can take sweetness from a stone. Understand? It can draw sweetness from a stone. Your consciousness is so subtle. And this one, the consciousness is so subtle that also she say, no, even you say something boo-boo, kaka, lulu, whatever you say. No, it's not just the words, but actually the words would be infused with the energy of truth and source, you see. This is something similar like yourself. At some point what you say, what you do, you know, a saint probably could do things that to a regular person looks like foolish things. But they are full, their actions are full of a blessing even. You see? And that even if a saint, in some places, if the people, their mind are sattvic enough, that even if a saint spat in their face, they are deeply touched and grateful. They say, thank you, thank you. You see, like that. But not everywhere would appreciate that. So it's not the words, not the actions, but the authority and the energy behind them. You are to imbibe the energy of your own heart, not the energy of the mind. See, mind can only impart more confusion and pride. Dear Mooji, dear beloved Mooji and Satsang family, thank you with all of my heart. Thank you for your quote today. All is the self. Thank you for your word, the truth and the light and your endless kindness and love. I am so blessed that I have heard your words and feel your beautiful presence, which I find in myself and leads me back home to stillness and nothingness. Love, love, love. Thank you, Anne Claire. Very nice. Nice. Beloved Mooji, I don't have many words to say, but I know you are in my heart. I know that when I cry out of nothing, watching a satsang or being in your presence, I cannot explain, and I am very happy for that. Just know there is something powerful which is not overwhelmed, but simply is here. This is such a simplicity, simplicity perspective of experience life I discovered in myself since I left Monte Sahaja. It is like I can see the easy and the innocent in everything, even what is not so easy and innocent. This is a bless to have you here so close, physically and not physically. You are in my presence and I love you. Sarah Antunes. Sarah Antunes from Lisbon. Do anybody remember Sarah?
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah. Ah, okay, very good. There's Mooji and all who help. Thank you for the YouTube satsangs. Hearing and seeing the living teachings and truth and love from you is a gift beyond measure. Something melts and dissolves in your presence, leaving peace and a wonderful delight in all that is. Nothing wanted, nothing to do, nothing waiting in the wings, just love and gratitude and awe. Thank you all and one. Mathilde, Pretoria, South Africa. Mathilde. Okay. Dear Mooji, I only discovered your existence 2 days ago. When I watched your satsang on YouTube, it was clear immediately that you are that. I don't know if I have the honor to meet you in this life. If it is to happen, it will happen. If not, I feel incredibly happy just to know that one such as you is alive on this earth. I feel blessed by your grace, even at this great distance. You bring peace and happiness. I feel Bhagwan's presence through you. Thank you, Mooji. With love, Mary Thomas. Mary Thomas? Who got these letters? You, Parvati? Where is she?
She doesn't feel so.
She's what? She's sick too? Dear Mooji, thank you so much to guide me with your clear words to my real self. Since I discover you on YouTube, I can't stop watching Satsang. After a long journey, suffering, I don't know how many lives I've lived in ignorance. Now I say it's enough. Enough with analyzing the problems, guilt feelings, with arrogance, apparent wisdom, spiritual exercises, etc. I have always cared about the symptoms and now I recognize the cause. Very good. This pulling me inside, it's so strong. It is like a magnet. And now I stand naked at the door. I am empty. I feel abandoned in the matrix. I hear the lies of the mind, mine and others, but still I feel some resistance to fall completely in the arms of God I can't see. I am not aware of what is. Trust, fear, please burn my mind and my body identifications. It's an emergency. I give myself. I want to be the truth. I love you so much. Catherine Lu, L-E-U, Catherine Lu, Spain in Orgiva. I have benefited immensely from Mooji's videos. I often refer to his teachings when talking to close friends. I am grateful for the availability of the teachings. What I wonder about is the preponderances of handsome young people in the videos. What did it mean, preponderance? The manifold, the manyness. What I wonder about is the plentifulness of handsome young people in the videos. Who is appearing in the video? Why are the questioners so often such beautiful looking folks? It must be because they're happy, that's why, you see? Because in satsang alone, the beings are getting younger. Isn't it? And only in satsang the beings are growing younger. Because when you drop your story, you drop the past, you drop all these projections and so on, then what happens is that your very countenance is changing. Countenance means even the presence, you see. The body becomes almost a little translucent. It's radiating some kind of energy. So you look young, you see. See, actually all these people, they're in their 200, 300 years old. I like to look at them, especially the women, but how does it end up being that the more average looking folks are not shown asking questions very much? We don't have any average folks anymore. We don't know what the average folk is anymore.
They're behind the camera.
They're behind the camera. Where they belong, yes. So, being the more average-looking folks are not shown asking questions very much. I expect this type of pretty face on camera on regular TV, even PBS. What is PBS? Public broadcasting. But it seems kind of puzzling in the satsang setting. Are pretty people more spiritually precocious? I hope you just have a really great sense of humor. Are pretty people more spiritually precocious or what? Regardless of the answer to these questions, thanks for making Mooji's teaching so accessible. Howard. Well, Howard is not a coward. He didn't hide his feeling. We must check this thing out, because what happened actually, there was one time we were, some beautiful satsangs take place and filmed, and then later on they made the video for YouTube, make excerpts, small pieces and all this. And I'm watching, I said, but what is this? And then I used to see that's one of the thing, somebody was like this up in the nose and looking, and I said, no, because this is a very beautiful piece of, satsang, thing. What is this guy doing up there, like this, And also looking at it and all this stuff. I said, my God, this is horrible. Nataraja, you here?
Outside.
Because I had to call, I said, what can we do? Then he showed a trick that he could zoom in, and the finger kept disappearing. I said, oh my God. Then we had sometimes in the satsang, a conversation happening, somebody like this. So I said, it doesn't look good, like that. Somebody looking like this. Then another time, one girl was sitting there, very short skirt. I mean, very short. And doing like this behind the question. I said, but you saw, no, some of this. And I said, no, we have to start putting people in the positions of these things, Put the people, people who can stay awake and who dress a certain way and have a certain code of behavior or something. But guess what? We could not do it. It was just an idea. We just said we need to be aware of these things, that we don't have people who are doing that, sort of picking their brain or whatever it is and stuff, and even looking at it and playing with it, in the middle of, we're talking about the infinite and about the supreme being, somebody's playing with their bogey. So I just want to say to Howard, we have not put anybody, I don't know consciously of what he's talking about, but I only can feel that I feel all the people are very beautiful. Maybe that's what he's seeing unconsciously. His eyes are becoming quite beautiful. Let's look at it that way. Dear Mooji, right now I feel the only thing I can do is pray without ceasing until the attack from my mind is over. Every time I have an insight into truth, my mind flares up even more and creates all sorts of doubts and confusion. Self-inquiry and meditation have helped me up to a point, but it's clear now that only the grace and power of God can do the rest. I don't really have a question. I am just writing to you as an act of faith, reaching out through my resistance, asking for help. All I want is truth. Please help me to find it quickly. I've been watching your videos for over 2 years now, and I'd like more than anything to be able to sit at your feet. But since I cannot do that physically, I'm reaching out to you in this way, asking you to cleanse me of ego and help me to see clearly again. Thank you, Ryan, you see. As always, one medicine for everything, I say. As soon as you realize and the position is shifted from the perspective of a person and slides back into that place of just witnessing, impersonal witnessing, all these are falling. You pray to God, this is good to pray. But of all the prayers, maybe you pray and say to God, replace me with you. Rid me of my ego and merge my mind in you only. It doesn't matter if you have to keep praying over and over to have this attitude. And to trust in your heart that your prayer is heard. Every sincere prayer is heard. But as I said before, sometimes we are searching for the truth only on our terms, meaning that you want it when you want it. You want it when you want it, and don't have time to wait. I remember one story from one little boy. He says, I was always praying to God for a bicycle, but I never got one. I prayed to God for a bicycle, I never got one. So what happened was I went out and I stole one and asked God to forgive me. Dear Mooji, you said you don't know what I meant when I say why I have to lose nearly everything I love. Here I give you some examples. My mother died at the age of 44. My husband left me. I lost home. I lost my breast. I had cancer. I lost my job. I lost the beloved dog which followed me every day. I lost health. I have kidney disease. I feel like I said I can't bear the pain of letting go anymore. You talked about letting go the pain. Please tell me how to do this. Okay, and this is from Namasté, Dhyan Priya. So you say something now, like this is good, because this was not said also. When I see like this, my mother died at the age of 44. Yeah. Everybody's going to die at some age. That has got to go. We know this thing. My husband left me. That's quite probable. This is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes we don't trust in life. You see these things as bad. My son passed away at 1 month before his 23rd birthday. I cannot say I regret it. It does not feel true to say this. Because this is the play of life. Nothing belongs to you. It's like everything I am, but nothing belongs to me. I lost home. I lost my breast, I had cancer. I lost my job. I lost the beloved dog which followed me around every day. I lost my health. I have kidney disease. It feels like I said I can't bear the pain of letting go anymore. Accepting also. You have to accept these things happen, so you have to accept them. Letting go is much more painful. I want to let go. But to accept that these things happen, there are many, many hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands of people who can write this letter also. Myself included. Isn't it? But how you feel about it. I gave you the example one time, someone in Satsang with Sri Sagadatta Maharaj, he says, this man said in Satsang, "Sir, I am listening to you and I really am touched by what you say and I agree with many things you say. But I want to be honest. And if I am to be honest, I'll tell you, I'm always experiencing what is it he said? Suffering. I'm always experiencing suffering. And the master said, no. It's not that you are experiencing suffering, you are suffering you're experiencing. A beautiful twist. I am experiencing suffering. No, you are suffering you're experiencing. Also these things you will lose. Earlier or later, we'll all have slumps and lose. Also at a certain age, you start to know many people, remember many people that you have met in life. You've looked in their eyes like we're looking in each other's eyes right now and feel the life force. Who is looking at who? The Lord is gazing into the Lord's eyes. But these days will pass. Yeah. But the real seer will not pass. Everything will go. All that you see and you love one day will no more be here. You see, like that. And so something has kept you here for some reason. Mother died at 44. She could have died at 30. She could have died at 15, then you would not have been born. She was long enough for you to come here. Your husband left you. Sometimes this can be a good thing. No? Sometimes someone leaving you is the birth of your spirituality. Sometimes you are so feel you are rejected. The things that human mind doesn't like, but it was the launching of your spirituality. It's your first step into freedom. Also can be. Lost home. Yes, there's a saying in the Buddhist scripture. The barns burned down, now the sky can be seen. Huh? Barns mean what? The place where you store all your food for later use. In the harvest they put all the food. They cannot eat all of it now. That's for much later, for the next months to come, feel secure. It says the barns burned down, now the sky can be seen. You see? Like this. I lost my breast, I had cancer. Some people, they get very, very sick also. And then also they're finding out there's something much greater than sickness. Yeah? Even here, some disease has come, they tell you, oh yes, you got this disease and that disease and so on. You see, one time this body had no disease at all. Now it had quite a few, you see. And you come to live with it. It becomes your teachers also. Your troubles, your pain become your teachers. You become much more humble, much more valuing of life, of time. I lost my job. Sometimes it's good to lose your job. And sometimes it's good to be fired. Yeah? Nice to be hired, pain to be fired. Sometimes you get fired. Not just out of your job, out of town also, they fire you. You know, some people get fired out of their town. Nobody wants them in the town. They get fired out of town even. I lost a beloved dog which followed me every day. Yes. Like that. I have kidney disease, these things. Sometimes you learn a lot, you know. Your life becomes enriched by these things also. Not necessarily that they summon some doom and some pain. Sometimes these things are producing life, giving you life, opportunity to live. You see? You have taken the darshan of your mother's own death. To see that which is most close to you, okay, that one is gone. It feels like I said, I can't bear the pain of letting go anymore. Yes. You talked about letting go of the pain. Let the pain be. Let the pain be there for a moment. Something watches this pain. Something is there to watch you write all these things on the paper to me. But it is not these things. And it's time you find out. Don't wait to lose more things. Be instructed. There's plenty of teachers here. Every line is a teacher. Help you to see something. No? Yeah. Please tell me how to do this thing. You are aware of all of these things. You're aware of all of these things. And they come and they go. But you are here. Find out what it is that's aware of all these things and more. Can that pass? Can that become past? These are past. Can that become past? Does it belong to any region of time? My God, this is to say these things, then I feel very happy to be human, to have these questions to ponder. Because if I was born a donkey or a cat, I don't know if I will be able to ponder these questions. You got a human body. This is a very great body for satsang. This is a satsang body. We are the only species on the planet that needs all these things. No species needs, jumpers and shoes and jewelry, and need a car and a special house and all these things. We are probably the most unfit on this planet to be here. It's time to leave. We are going into another farm. Everything else can be here without, central heating and all these things and bling bling and all of this stuff. We are the only ones who are doing it. Something must be, we are moving on somehow. But something is aware of all this stuff. Because in a human form, you can contemplate this thing. And not in some fanciful projection or, when I hope when I die I go here. No, I hope when you live you go here. I hope while you're alive you go here. Here. Heaven is not for the dead. Find that which is imperishable, you see. I'm pointing to it all the time. Everything you see, have a sticker of past on it. Everything is past on it, you see. For the moment, this body and the person has the sticker of present on it. But that is also perceived. And what is present one day will be past. What is that which is not present? Even this presence itself will pass. Like it does every day. It passes in deep sleep. Even presence you have transcended. Last one now. I love you, beloved. I love you overflows out of this chest through this smile and these fingers which seem to be typing. This love for you has no beginning and no end, for it is not in time. It never started to be. Thus it cannot cease. This love for you is not growing, for it is not in space. Still, it is endlessly blossoming with new and ever-present petals in the core of my being, blessing more and more every inch of this I amness. Who could ever explain this, and who would be there to listen outside of this love? This existence has been crowned by the glory of your presence by merging with you. With your light, wisdom, and compassion, you reveal the faceless face of God inside this heart as my own face. You are the ocean which gives birth to this drop and eventually embraced it back to its sweetness, its sweetest dissolution. Whatever the game of Maya may bring, let there be no separation here. For the I has always been a mere idea, and it is being blown away like imaginary smoke by the grace of love. As these words of pure gratitude arise in here like silent whispers in empty space, may the memory of me be forgotten and only truth remain, for it alone truly exists. In eternal guidance and love, Priya. P.S. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. This is very good. Good. What we can say after that? I don't have any story in me that I'm waiting to have played out, really, in this way. One enjoys life, you know. We're here at Monte Sahaja. This is a perfect place, a sketchboard. And somehow somebody said to me, you did not stop painting. Now you're painting this landscape and this place. So, okay, you can look at it like that. It's good. Nothing compares to the emptiness. And that which gives emptiness, its emptiness. Beyond even emptiness, you see.
Also request from someone to hear the story about the cleaning boy and the king. Could you tell it?
The cleaning boy and the king. Summer hand, okay. It's a bit long, that story for today. I'll tell it another moment. I'm too tired now. Somebody's going to play a bit of music today, anyone? Someone who is unprepared? Sing something? Say something? Yes, you can come.
I'm prepared. I just what came. Ходил Господь по сырой земле, говорил Господь молодым вдовам, да молодые вдовы, да вы садите сады, да поливайте сады, горючми, ой, слезами,
как одна там и вдова, да не послушалась. Ой, Господь на нее, да распрогневался. Он излил на нее, да с горы горячих воды, как по той по воде, да душа грешна плыла, душа грешная, да что ж ты в рае не зашла? Ой, а у нас там и в раю, да жизнь хорошая. Ой, там ангелы едут, и в руках свечи несут, они песни поют, херувимские. Ой, аллилуйя, 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 ой, аллилуйя, 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 ой.
Hallelujah. Praise God. I felt to go back again to Dian Priya. I lost mother, husband, home, breast, job, dog, kidney. Actually, none of these things belong to you. And the day that we discover that will be a very beautiful day. First, sometimes a sharp pain is felt because we caress many things. When you try to caress what is bound by time, pain will be there. Because time says, everything that you see and experience belong to me. Everything that you taste, everything you see belong to me. The time say that. So if you're hanging on to what belongs to time also, then you will feel you belong to time. It will swallow you. Time says everything belongs to me except awareness. Because without awareness, I cannot shine, I have no power. Awareness swallows me up. It neutralizes my power. We have a sense that we are something tangible. We have lived like this for a very long time. We have carried our vital statistics around with us. We have carried a lot of things that we feel are tangible proof of our existence. And yet we cannot hold on to them because time is taking them away. It's changing them in front of our eyes. So therefore time is our friend, because time comes to show you, to force you, to bite you, so that you find the thing which is beyond time. Many beings have used circumstances like this to awaken to their own inner reality, their own peace, their own perfect nature, which does not come with, beautiful tastes, sometimes very painful, challenging things, deep, rugged walks help you to find your true way home. So when I read this, I don't feel sorry for you, you see. But I feel for you. But I don't feel sorry for you. I would like this letter to turn out for you to be a very happy letter. It doesn't sound like one initially, because the energy behind is so sad. But this, I hope that soon, it's all turned around and it becomes actually something of the past. It turns out to be a very happy insight. Because in themselves, nothing is wrong with anything here. They have to go. Because nothing in life said you can keep these things forever. We are just tourists here. Even this body, which you need to enjoy all these things, even this body you cannot keep. Find that which you cannot lose. Easy. Thank you everybody for today. Welcome all of you who came in today. I'm very happy. I'm full of surprise today. Look, I was really not somehow aware of who was coming in today. And very nice. Very good. Very sweet. Very great. Jesse, very good. Very good. You see, even Jayashri, you see, first time we talked about this, it felt like, oh, it's so difficult from Belarus. No?
It's really true, yes.
Yeah? What does it say? From Belarus to say what happened, it's difficult enough for people from Russia, even from the Ukraine. You can go to the Ukraine, we can go to Ukraine easy from here. But even the Ukraine, it's not so easy to come here. Belarus is even more difficult. And I said, okay, I think one day you'll come. Today she come. Isn't it? You cannot rule anything out. Isn't it? Sometimes you see your situation, your circumstances, they seem impossible. So no, it's just not possible. I said, no, don't say it's not possible. Right? Don't say it's not possible. Say, I don't know. Say, we will see. But don't say it is not possible. Because you turn those words against yourself.
Last time I say yes.
Yes.
And like,
Yes, I know she's here. Very good. Thank you.